Home prices are starting to level off from those unprecedented unicorn years of 2021 and 2022. But if you just bought your house recently, does that mean you're in trouble? The unique real estate market that was created by the pandemic has also created a kind of weird aftermath. The unicorn years where home prices were rising faster than we'd ever seen and interest rates were hanging low in the 2s and 3s caused an absolute spike in home values. As the market corrects and home values start to come down, because quite frankly, they had to, that level of year-over-year growth we could not sustain. But if you've recently bought your house, should you have the fear that now you're gonna owe more on your house than it's actually worth? The unicorn years of 21 and 22 couldn't last forever because that would have created an even bigger affordability issue than we're already seeing. And that correction really started last fall, around October, November, when interest rates went up to 7%. That was a number we hadn't seen in over 20 years. And higher interest rates mean for buyers a higher monthly mortgage, which oftentimes means a lot of buyers are gonna check out of the market, either because of affordability or because they're gonna wait and see what happens. And when buyers check out of the market, what do prices do? They go down. A recent report from CoreLogic said that there's been a 0.7% dip in homeowner equity over the last year. That stat doesn't paint the whole picture, however. At face value, that stat would say, okay, home prices are dropping, which means if I just bought a house, the values are going down, and I now probably owe more on my house than it's worth. Hold on there. It's important to take a pinpoint of data that's short-term and also compare it to the long-term trends. Here's what I mean by that. The overall data shows that equity overall for homeowners is still almost double of what it was in 2005. What you can see is there has been a small dip since 2022, but look at the overall equity that homeowners have. It's still much higher than years past and even higher than the most recent years outside of the unicorn years. So look at 2018, 2019, and 2020, before things went bananas. That's a better comparison because these last couple of years were just completely off the mark. So yes, while home equity has ticked down since last year, it's still well above the previous years. If you owned your home prior to 21 and 22, you've seen the most benefit because you had your home at a certain value, the pandemic hit, everything went haywire, and you saw the greatest gains. If you just bought your home in the last 12 months and you're seeing values start to tick down, don't panic. The longer you're in your home, the more equity gain you're gonna have. And in fact, there's good news for you. Recent reports are saying that the worst price declines are behind us. And as interest rates stabilize, so will prices, and they may even go up, which will help you gain back that lost equity. Selma Hepp, chief economist at CoreLogic, explains it this way. Home equity trends closely follow home price changes. As a result, while the average amount of equity declined from a year ago, it increased from the fourth quarter of 2022, as monthly home prices growth accelerated in early 2023. It's all about context. Values have dipped. If you've owned your home for several years though, you are still sitting on tons of equity. And if you just recently bought your home and these dips in values are making you nervous, remember, it only matters if you have to sell your house. If you're sitting in your house for the next 5 to 10 years, these little dips along the road are not gonna mean a thing because overall you're gonna gain a lot of value in time. Are you still nervous? Do headlines give you hives? Just know it is perfectly fine to have a conversation, even if your plans are not to buy or sell. If it helps you sleep better at night, I'm happy to help. As a homeowner, buckle in. You are gonna have to ride the wave of those little peaks and valleys throughout the market. What's always important is the values do not matter unless you're going to sell. If values tank for 2 years and you're still living in your house, it really makes no difference to you. It only matters when the sign has to go in the ground. So sit tight, hang on. This correction is not a crash. I'm Lindsey Johnson, your resource for all things real estate. See you next time.